My name's Vicky Carter. I presently live in Weymouth and I am a passenger assistant with my job working with special needs children, which brings me an awful lot of pleasure. But reading has been a big hang-up for me. I never felt part of anything. I always felt on the outside. I was always told by others, oh, you don't come to places, you don't come here and you don't come there. And the fear was in case I had to read something. It was nothing to do with me not wanting to be there wholeheartedly. I'd want to be there. But I just couldn't stand the total embarrassment if I was asked to read. I was one of those children that went to school like everyone else, but for one reason or another didn't pick up any reading skills whatsoever. I started to be difficult to deal with and I hated it, and I felt embarrassed, hurt and ashamed and angry and totally let down by everybody, and I just hated the whole world, and so I was going to kick off at school. But whilst I was doing that, I wasn't learning. I was just learning how to avoid and how to get out. Left school at 15, couldn't wait, hated school. Left school and my love was horses. My passion was horses. Didn't have to read to ride a horse, and I was very good at it. I decided I'd go to college. I had moved to Weymouth by then, and I went down the Weymouth College, just walked in the door and just said, hi, I can't read and write, is there anyone that can help me? Didn't know what else to do. I met somebody there who was a very nice lady who took me to one side and showed me that it could be done and said that I could have reading lessons there with other people, you see, and it meant that I had to join a group. I didn't do groups. I tried, but I couldn't do groups. I couldn't. I used to go in, the fear of it alone, I don't know what it was. It was just all the old fears came rushing back. The things that I'd missed out with my children reading, I wanted to be able to do with my grandchild. So I went down that college once again, and I spoke to a lady called Liz who told me about Read Easy. And when she told me I could have a tutor all to myself, I was in my element, because I wanted no one in the world to know my secret. And that meant I could be private. My first reading session was quite difficult, but I met a lady called Sheila who was determined that it wouldn't be difficult and saw past probably my pain. At first it was scary, but I found that one-to-one relationship that had been missing for the majority of my life. And in that first instant, I knew that we were going to be okay, because I started to let her in. As time went on with Read Easy, it began to become just that, Read Easy. And I started to feel the help that this book was giving me was enormous. And I started to think, yes, I can do this. And I kept repeatedly looking at the words, yes, I can read. And when I could read just one page of that book even, to me, that was a breakthrough, because I was someone that didn't read anything at all. My daughter was sat in the kitchen, and I opened up the cupboard and I said, what would you like? What soup do you want? And I said, I've read all these soups. And she said, you're reading the tins. You don't normally do that. She noticed straight away. And I said, well, yes, I can read. I always could. It was just easier to feed you dog food than it was to feed you properly. I know now I would have been very good at reading had I have been taught. But I believe everyone can do it. Everyone can read. But they need help. You can't change what happened in the past, but you sure can change what happens to you in the future if only you have the courage to do that. And it's courage that you need.